Hi, it's Diane from Style Falcon, and here's what's going on in the Style Falcon studio this week. I got the new pattern for the fall of 2026 back from the grader. So it's going to be another one of those weeks of a lot of working in front of the computer for starters to get it cleaned up and ready for testing. I'll show you what it looks like. It doesn't look like too much at the moment. People are kind of curious what it looks like when it comes back from the grader, so I can show you. Hold on a second. So like I mentioned, there's a couple of different bodice options on this one. There's sort of a like a raglan option, and then a more of a scoop neck kind of option. And so this is the scoop neck option, and you can see there's the 11 sizes that are sort of nested here, and this comes in a PDF. But it all has to be cleaned up because it just looks super rough right now. Among the things is there's duplicates of things because there's the seam allowance is also still on here, and a bunch of other things that have to be cleaned up before I can do anything else with it. But just something that you guys might be interested in is this sort of the grade rule, which increases as the size increase. A lot of people think that the grading is just a matter of just making things larger in a uniform way, but that's not necessarily the case. I had to spend some time deciding just how much I wanted to increase things as the sizes got larger or smaller. Again, size F, which is in the middle, is the base size that the Style Falcon block is built on. And then there's 5 sizes smaller and 5 sizes larger. And as the sizes get larger, they get larger a little incrementally. But then to show you something else, like here are the couple of the raglan facings for the neckline. And as you can see, they don't really get much larger or smaller at all from the base. And that's because your neck doesn't really get much larger or smaller, you know? And sometimes if you happen to take a larger size, you may find that if something isn't really graded very well, the neckline is enormous, if you ever had that experience. You know that something really isn't graded properly. But here, it's just a tiny bit larger, just to accommodate a little bit of the extra fabric that's involved to make the proportions of the neck work with the rest of the grading that's done. But it should be really pretty incremental, the additional sizes that are happening to make these facings work. So those are some of the things I have to go through. I have to clean this all up, and then what happens is it goes off to a professional seamstress who's going to sew some of the sizes up. I'm going to sew some of the sizes up, and we're just going to make sure that everything makes sense. And if it does, it will go off to Adriana, the graphic artist, who is going to actually make this pattern look nice so that an actual sewer, such as yourself and the testers, can next have their opportunity to work with it. I did get some time in front of the sewing machine, though, this week. My niece, who's really into horseback riding, came to me because she had a couple of these very stretchy compression equestrian pants that needed some repairs. One of them had broken zipper. While these are very stretchy, they have this very weak little nylon zipper that just was completely useless. You can see it fell apart. So I took it apart, tried to figure out what was wrong with it. It was beyond repair. So we talked about it and decided that while it would be less comfy, we're going to go with a good old metal zipper so that we just have to worry about the zipper popping open while she's on horseback. So I'm going to put this in for her. I'm going to get that done today. And then she also had just another seam that had busted open. It's astonishing how a little adventure in taking ready-to-wear apart is always fun, and to see how things are built sometimes boggles the mind. But I'll do my best to get these fit for purpose for the future for her. Finally, my sewing tip this week is about color blocking. Last week I talked about the magic of the third piece, about having a third garment on or some other eye-catching thing, whether it's a scarf or an interesting pair of glasses, an interesting bag, an interesting belt, something that just draws the eye to create some additional dimension to your look. And some people said, I just run hot. I can't stand to have a third thing on. What else can I do to help my look, to create some dimension? Color blocking is a great way to do it. Today I happen to be wearing this gorgeous Go-Day top that I made that's color blocked with jersey. There's this base fabric here, and then there's this ITY fabric that I did in the solid for the cowl, and then I also did it for the side godets in this aqua color. So what I did is I chose out of this print, which is not normally something I would have gone for, but I happen to have some of this scraps of this aqua left that I wanted to use. This is really the hero color of this print, which is kind of a weird collection of colors. This tan and a black and this kind of I don't know, this baby blue, right? The aqua is really what was going to pop, so that's what I chose for the color blocking. And so it gives the eye this thought that there's something else going on, that I am wearing 3 pieces or an additional piece, so this is like a scarf even though it's all just one garment. So it's a way to trick the eye into thinking that there's more happening in a garment than there really is. So that's another way that you can do it. This is the Make a Point shirt that I made that I added some color blocking on the collar and on the side panels here. Is another way that you can do it. Just again, this is just one cotton shirt, but with the side panels, this little bit of color blocking, and also on the collar, which wraps around, of course, to the front, gives a little bit of extra dimension. Another way to add a third piece, if you're so inclined. Please give it a try and let me know how it goes. This is Diane from Style Falcon. Thanks for watching.